Hi, everyone. Welcome to the How We Hustle podcast.
I'm Mike.
And I'm Tanya. And we invite you to join us in our unfiltered conversation about the real life hustle of being an entrepreneur. For more information about the podcast, check out howwehustlepodcast.com. Make sure to follow us on Instagram at How We Hustle Podcast, where you'll get notable quotes from our episodes and updates on live new episodes. So head over to Instagram and follow us at How We Hustle Podcast.
Hey, Mike. So I want to kind of do a checkup, an update of like where we are in our businesses, because I feel like it's been a little while since we've actually talked about ourselves on the podcast. So what's been happening in your business and what's really working for you right now?
So I've really been finding that I've been studying the way that I frame my offer. That's sort of one of the big breakthroughs that I've had recently is like, what am I offering? Like figuring out what I'm offering. Because for a while I was sort of speaking about what I do, which is like writing books for people, publishing it for people, and launching it for people. I was speaking about it just like that. Like, what do I do for you? But as I've been like kind of studying the psychology, I've shifted it so that now I am more focused on the outcomes. So it's like, instead of telling people what I do for them, I tell them the outcome that I'm going to get for them. And it's like kind of a big difference there. It's not really a statement of like what I'm doing. You know, it's like, what are you going to get out of working with me? Like, what problem am I solving for you? So now when someone, comes up to me and says, what do you do? What I used to say was, oh, I write books for people, basically is what I would say. Some version of that. But now what I say is, I help entrepreneurs solve the problem of writing and publishing their book. See how I'm framing it differently? I'm framing it as like the problem I'm solving. And then I'll continue and I'll saying, so that.
That's my hack, by the way, everyone. So that's basically like when you want to talk about benefits, you say the something. So that blank, so that blank. So keep going.
I solved the entrepreneur's problem of writing and publishing their book so that they can attract dream clients.
Book speaking engagements.
Will showcase their value, connect with their audience, and make more money kind of thing.
So that they have more freedom and can travel and can spend more time with their family and can be asked for speaking engagements and can have other opportunities.
Yeah. So really what you're doing is you're going from their problem to their solution, their problem to their like heaven, to their outcome. You're not really focused on the process. So that is sort of how do you frame your offer, right? So that is for me has been a big breakthrough that has really been working as I've been talking to people. And I've even kind of once again gone through my emails, or I'm just doing that now. And just changing the copy, just to like reflect this new breakthrough I've had. And I'm even kind of recommitting to my Facebook group. And I guess the philosophy that I think I'm going to take is just focus on problem and solutions. Like take a problem, kind of like agitate that problem and then talk about the solution. Not really talking about the process because I don't think people care about the process. And this is something that you and I have definitely talked about offline and online before on the podcast before. But like, yeah, it's just that sort of what's working for me. Like I understand that clients are not buying their way into something, they're buying their way out of something. So what is the problem that they're trying to get out of? And that's where you come in. That's where I come in. Because like you are a business coach for women, you're helping them get out of their current work situation, right? I am helping people write books. I'm trying to help them get out of this situation where they have this book idea, they're not getting leads, they're not showcasing their value, et cetera, et cetera. So yeah, that's really what's working for me is how I frame my offer and how conversations I have with people.
Mm-hmm. I love that. And what made you reconfirm or recommit to your Facebook group?
Just, learning. I know I'm laughing because I know that you're laughing. You're kind of asking me this question somewhat sarcastically because you've been telling me the value of Facebook groups for a long time, but
I'm actually not. I was actually asking because I wanted to know what's working for you when it comes to Facebook groups.
I think I just sort of started seeing some case studies of people that have really done well with Facebook groups, and it just got some maybe juices flowing in my mind that kind of made me realize once again that there's like, if I commit to it, if I put work into it, then it's, as you say, the low hanging fruit. And it's not just about sales, really. It's about, it's about serving. That's another thing that I am another breakthrough I've had is I'm approaching my conversations now, not as sales conversations, but as like conversations of serving, if that makes sense. It's like, I don't need to turn every conversation I have into a sale necessarily. Like, I want to just be there to support and serve people I'm talking to and like give value to them. And I believe that in itself will sort of develop the energy that will bring the right people to me. And when the opportunity comes where the right people are in front of me, then I can take that conversation to the next level and turn it into a sales conversation. But I don't need to have that hard, like, must close every conversation kind of approach to what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's a good point in terms of also with with a Facebook group. Like, a Facebook group, in my opinion, is a great place to, one, learn about problems that people are facing, how they describe their problems, creating a community, and learning really from the people in your Facebook group. Because when you learn from them, you're able to create content that serves them. So when you're in service of the people in your Facebook group, when you've created that community and you can serve that community, you're going to learn things that are going to help you make more sales in the future.
Yeah. So you're going in there, you're serving people, and in the process of doing it, there will be people that emerge who are like, I love the way you've been serving. I want to work with you because you have the solution to my problem. You've shown me that you have the solution to my problem through the way you've been serving the group. That's really the way that I'm kind of the breakthrough I've had. And it's not necessarily like, it's not a huge, it's not revolutionary, but it's just a little mindset shift that I'm taking that I think will yield really positive results for me and also for the people that I'm like serving,
And obviously they're joining your Facebook group because they want what you're offering. Like, they wouldn't be in your group if they didn't want to write a book. That's one of the prereqs basically to being in that group. If you want to write a book, that's why you would be joining your Facebook group. So it's a great place to know that all of those people in there have a book idea and haven't written it yet, or are in the process of writing it.
Well, maybe I would say they're in that book because they're in the group because they want to get some of the outcomes that I speak about. And I'm now educating them as to the way a book can bring them there. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So if I speak about
value in writing a book,
if I speak about the outcomes as part of my narrative, then that can also be, a form of attraction for people. I say, a book can, showcase your value, make you an authority figure, make you more money. People are like, those are things that I want. How do I get that? And then they come in my group and they start to understand how, I can, maybe what I'm trying to say is by coming in my group, I highlight for them a problem that maybe they didn't necessarily completely know they had, but they did have it because they want that outcome. They need that outcome.
And they're looking for the solution which you're going to offer in your Facebook group. And I think that also a Facebook group is a great place to, if you're not using Facebook ads, if you don't have a funnel, if you don't have a way of turning people from a stranger into a client, it's a great place for them to like be nurtured, to learn about you, to hear about you, to get some support to do get the mindset shifts that need to happen in order for them to move forward with starting the solution that you're giving them.
Yeah. And one of the things I'm really trying to like focus on and get better at is kind of understanding and being able to communicate to people like what they're going through. Because I think that the better, me and you and everyone else, the better that you can sort of show up with an understanding of the pain that people are going through, like the better that you can communicate. Like, you as a business coach, if you kind of show up and are really able to connect with people by understanding the pain they're in, then people are going to trust you a lot quicker. They're going to think like, this person gets me. This person gets like what my pain is. Therefore, I don't have to like explain to them what my pain is because they've already shown me that they exactly understand where I'm at. And so I'm going to trust them to get me out of that because they've shown me that they know where I'm at.
Mm-hmm. And I think like for me, that's super easy because I really have been where a lot of their pain is. Like I really did struggle with my business at the beginning. And for you, I think it's like it works for the opposite reason. Like you find it so easy to write. And so it's easy for you to help people like have that solution and teach people how to make it easier. Because it's been easy for you. For me, like it has been really hard. So I can understand where people are and I can teach them what I've learned to make it easy. And for you, it comes easy for you. So you can help people figure out the tools that you have that make it easy for you and teach them that stuff. So that's awesome. So Facebook groups are really working for you right now and shifting your offer and your messaging to more benefits and solutions rather than the features in the process.
And that's something we've talked about before, but I'm kind of taking it to a one or two layers deeper now, and also as we said, just coming from a place of serving, not necessarily selling, because as we said, selling is serving, but like show up just wanting to help people, and another thing too is you don't have to work with everyone, right? Like there have been times where I'm on the phone and I'm thinking to myself, like, this person is not right for me. Or even having a conversation with someone who messages me on Instagram, right? Someone's like, I'm just like, this person is not an ideal client. But there's this voice in my head that's
scarcity.
Yeah, the scarcity that says, like, just try and close them anyway, And now I'm sort of like, I'm not doing that. It's funny, I actually had something happen to me, like kind of the last 2 weeks, where this guy, he's a kind of big person in his field, and he wrote me and he was like, I want to work with you. And I was like, okay, cool. So we were chatting. He's like, but really what I just want to write is like a short little ebook. And then I was like, all right, so I'll do that for you. And then I kind of sent him an invoice. He kind of like stalled on it for a little bit. And then like that, because he was stalling on it, I was like thinking to myself, I'm like, this is what I get for sort of allowing myself to not just focus on my dream clients. Like, I don't want to do a short ebook. That's not what I want to do. I want to do like, full books where people can fully showcase their value, get it on Amazon, make it a bestseller. Like, that's what I want to do. I don't want to do these little like side jobs for people that are sort of, kind of taking advantage of me a little bit. So then like he stalled on the invoice. And then I kind of wrote him, I'm like, you know what? I kind of changed my mind. I don't want to work with you. And then he kind of wrote me back and was sort of like, okay, well, let's talk about, how we can do it your way kind of thing. And that's just sort of like a message from the universe, which was like, know your boundaries, know your value, and don't, stick to it. So that's another thing that I'm recommitting to is like, I'm only going to work with people who want the value that I provide. If they want to like, custom order my value in a different way, like shorter thing, like I don't want to do that. So I'm just going to turn those people away, and not necessarily turn them away, but maybe refer them to someone who can serve them better, because I want to serve dream clients. That's all. You want to serve dream clients. If we're not serving dream clients, not only are we like, we're not really doing a service to either one of us, Mm-hmm. So, that's sort of another philosophy I'm adhering to now. Just focus on dream clients and, politely decline working with anyone else because they just distract you from what you're meant to be doing.
And I typically, don't offer my services to them if they're not a dream client, but also if they do ask about it and they're not a dream client, I'll just say like, at the moment I'm full, so I'm not taking on new clients.
Yeah. And as you said before, when you do that, you open yourself up for more dream clients and the universe rewards you, et cetera. So, and I believe that. So the more you bog yourself and distract yourself with working with non-dream clients, then the less dream clients, the less bandwidth you're allowing for dream clients to come into your life.
Well, I think that, and I know this is a terrible analogy, but I'm going to use it anyways. I think that the universe does not get hints. It doesn't get hints. It needs you to be super specific and honest about what you want and what you don't want. And if it's something that you don't want, not saying yes to the things you don't want. So I usually use the example of like, guys are not very good at catching hints. So if you don't say exactly what you mean, they take it for what you said, and then they give you stuff that you don't want, or they do things that you didn't mean that you wanted. So be specific. Do not send mixed messages. Do not send mixed messages. Be specific with what you desire. And if it's not a dream client, say no. If it's not a dream opportunity, say no. And when you say no, you will attract things that are different from what you just said no to. So say no to things you don't want so that you can attract the things that you do want.
And that's a wrap on another episode of How We Hustle. For more information, check out howwehustlepodcast.com.